So you're going to see a lot of these questions very similarly, very identically on your test. I'll change the numbers. In other words, instead of element number 9, it'll be element number 12 or something like that. But the same kind of concepts. Yes, mentioned I have to put my favorite student. My favorite student is good old Anne. Anne Serkey, she gets everything right. I already showed you that? Okay, there you go. I'm going to try going somewhat from memory. If I get this wrong, let me know. Name is Lithium, yes? That one I know is atomic number 3, which means it has 3 protons, 3 electrons. I skipped the neutrons. I'll have to do that. Does lithium have 4 neutrons? I know a few of the earlier ones, but I haven't come anywhere close to memorizing this whole thing. Number of valence. By the way, valence, what does the word valence mean? Okay, outer shell, outermost shell. So the number of valence electrons, you just count over from the left. It's in the first column, so it's got 1 valence electron. Number of electron shells. Oh, by the way, it's going to be a half mark for each of these. The easiest way to do this is to just add up the number of x's, divide those by 2, and subtract from 27. Number of electron shells, that's the same as the number of periods. That's going to be 1, 2, number of rows down, 2, yes? 2 shells. Second period, family number 1. Atomic number 12, that means also 12 protons, 12 electrons. Atomic 12, it's right after sodium. Sodium I know is 11. What comes after sodium, Mr. Dewick? Come on, brain, come on, brain. I'm going to have to cheat and look. Magnesium? Oh, I should have had confidence. So symbol, I always get magnesium and manganese mixed up. Manganese is element 25. I always have to look Mg, and the word magnesium gets smooshed into there. I know it's hard to see. Number of neutrons. How do we figure out the number of neutrons? Again, it's atomic mass, round it off properly. Subtract the atomic number, because the electrons basically have no mass. They do have mass, but not enough that we need to count it. 12, yes? Number of valence electrons, 2, because it's 2 over. Number of shells, 1, 2. It's in the third row, the third period. So 3 shells, third period, and it's family number 2. Neon, is it 10? Oh. You know what? Let's do this. Make it larger so you can see, because I got the touch screen. Ne. Number of protons, 10. Number of electrons, 10. Number of neutrons, that I don't know. Oh, also 10. 20, take away 10. Number of valence electrons. It's a noble gas. It's got a full shell, and it's in the row that has 8. Number of electron shells, 2, period 2. Yes? I think right. Yeah, had me worried. Family number 18, the noble gases. Number of protons, that's the same as the atomic number. That's the same as the number of electrons. When are the number of electrons and the number of protons not the same? When instead of an atom, we have an ion. That's going to be key, because that's easy to get mixed up on. Element number 17. That's a good question. No, I don't have that one in my brain. Chlorine. Cl and then CHL or RINE. Number of neutrons. That's a good question. Is it 17 or is it? It's 36. Take away 17. Is it 19? 19, right? You get a round off, and that one you get rounded up. Number of valence electrons, 7, which is why it's so reactive. It just needs 1 more to get a full shell. Number of electron shells, 3, period 3, family number 17. What's the fancy schmancy name for family number 17? Halogens. Do you need to memorize? It's on your sheet, but I need to know that I will use that on the test. You need to know that it's on your sheet. So what the halogen is he talking about? 13 electrons. Since it's an atom, that means there's 13 protons. That means it's atomic number 13. And that puts it at aluminium or aluminum. I think I'm going to start saying aluminium for the rest of my life because that's how it's spelt, and they named it. We're wrong in North America. Aluminum, 27, take away 13. 14 neutrons? Number of valence electrons, 3. So it will get rid of 3 electrons to become an ion. Electron shells, 3 and 3? Yep. 3 shells, third period, and its family number 13. By the way, each family does have a name. I don't know them all. For example, family 16 with oxygen at the top. I think those are called the oxides, but I'm not positive on that. They all have names, but you need to know alkali, alkaline, halogen, and noble gases. The 4 that are on your sheet. They're the ones that have properties that we can predict with our Science 9 rules, which I've told you time and time again. Technically, everything that I'm showing you is wrong. It works to a point, but as soon as you go further down, weirdness happens. 38, number of protons. Okay. That means atomic number 38. That means 38 electrons. Element number 38, good question. Strontium. SR, not ST. Number of neutrons. Now I'll have to do some probable math. 87.6, 88, take away 38. Oh, that's not too bad. 40 even? Yes? 50, that's what I said. 50. Boy, you don't listen well at all. 50. On your test, can you bring a calculator? Yes. Can you use your phone? No. Bring a cheap calculator. If you're comfortable doing basically 2-digit or 3-digit subtraction in your head, if I go to elements further down that are in the hundreds, I don't know if I will on your test, but certainly you can do it without a calculator. I usually bring one just in case I make a dumb mistake like I just did, forgot to carry the 1. Valence electrons, 2. Electron shells, 1, 2, 3, 4. This has 5 electron shells. It's period 5, and it's family number 2. So, half mark for each of those. Easiest way, count up the ones you got wrong, divide that by 2, subtract from 27, but do yourself a favor, put a little total out of 27 right there so that you're not trying to count all these up later on. That's what I would be doing if I was marking your quiz. So, I've given you the numbers and said, tell me about it. I could also give you, as far as I'm concerned, the pictures, the models. Again, these aren't in real life accurate. Electrons aren't really little dots, but they explain a lot. So 4 electrons means element number 4. Is that beryllium?
Yep.
That one I knew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 electrons, carbon. Yes? You could write the name out too, but I've already told you I tend to abbreviate. Yes? Neon?
Yep.
1 extra, sodium? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Third shell, 7 over. Is that chlorine? Calcium? In terms of drawing board diagrams on your test, I'm not going to go beyond the calcium period. So I'm not going to have you do more than 1, 2, 3, 4 shells. And I'll be honest, even in that 4th row, I'm not going to have you draw selenium and try and fit in all 16, because forget it. Really, I'm not going to go anything but, potassium, calcium, scandium, maybe titanium, also because those are cool things that you're familiar with. You've heard those ones. We're not going to get into the really obscure ones. 1 mark for each of those. You can give yourself a little score out of 4. An atom has 76 protons. 5 out of 4 out of 6. That's what I said. Out of 6. Try that again, Mr. Dewick.
You guys suck at listening.
Yeah, thank you. I like you. No, yes, I do. Element has 76 protons on 104. 76 protons is what I look at. The number of neutrons can change. We call those isotopes. You'll actually look at those in Science 10. 76, which one, Jimmy?
The answer is 190. 0.2, yeah.
Well, 190.
Yeah!
Technically, in this case, not 0.2. I won't take marks off. The reason it's on your periodic table 190.2 is because that's the average mass. That means some of those have, instead of 114 neutrons, the odd atom has 115 neutrons. But this specific atom here, 76 protons, 114 neutrons, has an atomic mass of 190. What atom is that? Osmium. Okay?
If someone were to put 0.2, would that be interesting?
I'm not going to take marks off, but I'm going to be fussy with you and say, let's do this properly. So I'm not going to take marks off. Can you give yourself a lovely score out of 34? If you need to lawyer with me, now is the time. Otherwise, pause the video.